Y'all, I got a special treat for you today. I first met the owner of this truck a few weeks ago at a car show, and I checked out his ride here. He also owns this company right here, and I've stopped here in Dayton, Tennessee today to check out his shop. Let's go in and talk for a minute. It's in a restored old log cabin here. I bet this is going to be a really cool spot.
Is this where we're headed?
Yeah. Anybody home?
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, Mr. Chris, how we doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Come on in.
Looks like you're hard at work.
Yeah, doing my daily batch.
What are we working on today?
These are mini amplifiers. They are built for guitar and they go inside of Altoids tins. And you can see over there, there's a whole bunch of them on that table.
Okay, we'll check those out.
But yeah,
So,
this is today's batch.
so this is one of, is this one of your?
Actually, this is a Fender that I ripped apart and rebuilt the guts for it.
Okay.
This one on top of the piano is mine.
Okay.
That one right there.
Love the shop.
Well, thanks so much.
So how old is this cabin?
It's an 1860s hand-hewed log house that was over on Cottonport Road, and I took it down.
So you transported it here?
Yeah, I took it apart log by log and moved it over here, and yeah, built it. So yeah, that's one of mine.
So this is your handiwork right here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, this cabin has so much character.
Those are good riding bikes. I love the speed trip.
Yeah, this actual seat right here is 64.5 Galaxy.
So you got your couch made out of a car seat. That's awesome.
And then over here I got, this is cool. I made this table.
Oh yeah, awesome. Got some old gear over here in the corner, looks like.
Yeah, that's one of the earliest 8-track recorders ever made.
One of the earliest 8-track recorders.
Yeah.
Wow. I like your deer head up there, playing a little guitar.
You smell Festus? You smell Festus?
So you've got another car project going on too, right?
I do. It's not here, it's up the mountain, but I got some parts for it over here. I'll show you something cool that I did. I haven't made a video on yet. I've got a 54 Pontiac Chieftain, and this was the original horn button.
Okay. Yeah.
And I couldn't, there's nothing I could do to make those cracks go away. So I bought on eBay for about $1.50 piece of PVC. And I used this and a heat gun.
And you made that.
And I made a new horn button.
Wow. That's impressive.
So you use a heat gun, heat up the PVC, stretched it in shape, and then afterwards I filed the edge down.
Cool.
Sanded it.
So I think you did a video too on the.
Yeah, I made a video on redoing this. Yeah, the front hood emblem.
Oh yeah,
It
that turned out great.
Shape. So, and then I'm going to, like, this is original radio. I'm going to gut it. I'm going to put modern guts in it so it'll be Bluetooth. And it'll all light up. And
so over here's your Altoid.
yeah, this is the batch for today. Yeah, all these. So.
Now, did you eat all those mints?
Believe it or not, my trash can ate all those mints today. I normally put them in jars, and then my wife gives them out at Christmas time to all people we know.
Oh, cool.
Back Altoids, but eventually I just fill up all my containers and they start going in the trash.
Looks like you've got some cool guitars hanging around here too.
Yeah. Yeah, this one here is in 1931.
Cool.
Yeah, this is one of my amps too, actually. This one here.
There's some of your work.
Yeah.
And what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is called Fresh Old School.
Fresh Old School.
Yeah, and it's started because I'll take all these old Tombstone radios and things like this and modernize them, like put Bluetooth in them and modern stuff, but I make them so they all light up like original. So
Yeah.
I love taking old stuff and then making it modernized, but keeping you know the feel of it. So
Well, you're probably
that's kind of where Fresh Old School came from.
you're probably just who I need to talk to. I've got my grandmother and grandfather's old
Okay.
console
yeah, I've done
radio
a bunch
like
of
that.
Tombstones. I've done a tabletop radios. Usually what I'll do is I've restored a lot of vintage radios, but there comes a point where a radio, the insulation on all the wiring is crumbling and it's falling apart, and it's
just not
it's gonna
worth
burn your
it.
house down. Even if it was restored all the way,
Yeah.
if you left it plugged in, I mean, it's gonna burn your house down. So I would almost rather at that point take it and completely modernize it and make it something you could use every day.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love the shop.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
It is really cool. So how
I
long?
actually plan on blowing out this back wall, and because you can drive around the back there, I'm gonna put in a lift, and I'm gonna go out this way, get another little section back there, so I can
Cool.
work on cars in the back.
So how long did it take you to disassemble this and then put it back together here?
Okay, so I bought the logs. I actually disassembled and moved the entire cabin, stacked it here in one day.
Wow.
I had a bunch of people help me. And then in January 1st, I can't even remember what year I started, maybe 2015, is when I broke ground, and I was moved in by August of that year.
Wow.
So,
You really got on with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pretty neat.
And
It
then
kind of started because my father-in-law kept sending me pictures of double wides and things like that he was finding deals on. Because my business used to be in my house. This is my house here next door. And almost everything that's in here used to be in my house. And my father-in-law just said, you need to do this. And I kept looking at these trailers thinking, that's not what I'm going for. So, I ran across a guy who was going to burn it down, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a shame.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's the 1860s hand-hewn log house.
So what about the floors?
Southeastern Salvage.
Southeastern Salvage.
Yeah, 98 cents a square foot right there. I did age it though, like I took steel wool and vinegar, and you dissolve steel wool in the vinegar, and it's red oak.
Gives it a little rusty
so you
color.
cover the whole thing, and it goes into the grain and makes it dark like this, and then you have to hand scrape it. So I hand scraped all this. And then by the time I got to here, I just used a sander because I was tired of hand scraping. I figure someday maybe I'll scrape all that, but yeah. So that makes it look aged, but it's really not.
Really cool.
All of the chinking on this log cabin, what I wound up doing was I took every log and used a chainsaw and cut 2 grooves in the bottom of each log, and then I came in and I cut lath and masonry lath, and I would shove a piece of lath up in there, nail it in, nail it down, and then put my chinking on it, and then I'd come around the other side and I insulate it, and then I would do the same thing. So the whole exterior of this cabin, it has chinking, but it's on lath like this, and then it actually has insulation between all of it. So
kind of cool that you left this so you can kind of see what.
Yeah, this is the spot where, the back wall, I just ran out of gas. I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of neat though that you left it that way so you can kind of see some of the construction of it. So did you number these logs or anything
actually,
like
you
that?
can still see there's a little bit of a. I used roofing nails.
Oh, so
the roofing nails with
just
the
put a
little
little
caps.
tag on there.
Yep. So I use those caps, and I also use lumber crayon. So I would write on Sharpie on all these little caps, and then I'd also write somewhere in lumber crayon just as a second. And the way I did it was, it had 2 sides of the log cabin. So basically 2 log cabins under one roof. And I would do like wall A, wall B, wall C, wall D. And I would number them 1A, 2A, 3A.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you can see right there. Like B4,
So you had your little
B3,
system
B4.
right there.
Yeah, so I had a system B2. So there is no B1. The lowest logs, I think, in an old school log cabin, the bottom log was flipped in this way, and then your floor beam would be sitting on it.
Okay.
But because of that, those logs were totally rotten out. So all of mine start at 2, 3, 4, 5, and up.
So it's just a little shorter than it was originally.
Well, the thing that's funny is it kind of, but not really, because when you had the first log flipped like this, you would build the floor on top of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you actually had a little less space inside.
I see.
And then also I decided to leave my ceilings open, so I have vaulted ceilings.
Uh-huh.
This part in the middle was, there was a wall here, and then there was a door here, and then there was a chimney here and a chimney on the other side, and behind the chimneys was where all the rot was.
Oh, okay.
So I ripped all that out and I just left it open. So this right here would have been called a dog trot, which was the spot between the two parts of the cabin that would remain open on the sides, and you could, you know, hang meat in there, and your animals could hang out in the shade. But yeah, you can see the original doors.
Yeah, I see there. Looks like that was hand hewn, right?
Oh
there.
yeah, all of it. And I actually found some of the tools that they had used to build this cabin when I took it all apart.
Really?
So I've got a what do you call it? A draw knife.
Uh-huh.
And I think that might be it. Draw knife. Yeah, you got two sides and it comes across as a blade.
Cool.
But, yeah, they used to. So there was a thing. I think it's called an adze. An adze. Yeah. It's basically like bent over like a hoe. And what you would do is you would stand on top. You would chop the log like this along the side. Chop, 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 chop. That's where you get all those marks.
Right.
And then you'd roll it so that the chop part was up, and you'd stand on it. And you'd take this thing called an adze, and you just walk backwards like this and chop off all of the parts that you had already sort of hit from the side. And then you'd flip the log over and do the whole thing again.
And that creates a
that's
flat.
and what's crazy though, so that was done on all these logs in the 1800s. And even with that being done, all of these logs are almost exactly 4 inches wide.
Wow.
And then they did these half dovetail.
Incredible.
They must have had a crew that would just go through the area, because there were actually a couple other cabins pretty close by to that this one that were probably all done by the same crew of guys that would just go through and build a cabin.
Incredible work and awesome save.
And here's another thing too that's kind of interesting. So this whole cabin was covered in siding, wood siding, and inside here, this is the mark from where there was a batten strip, and it had plaster. This was all covered with plaster. That's part of how come it looks so good. And outside was covered with wood siding. And the thing about it is, like when you see a log cabin like this, where they're smooth on the sides, they actually, people thought like that you were poor if you lived in a log cabin. So nobody wanted to know that this was a log cabin, so they covered it in siding and they plastered the inside of it, because it was, you know, kind of like it used to be, people would say like, oh, well, you just have wood floors, you must be poor.
Yeah,
so it's like, oh, well, we all need carpet, because people who are rich have carpet, and then everybody took their houses and covered their hardwood floors in carpet.
Wow.
And then everybody's ripping the carpet up and throwing it away to have hardwood floors again. But
kind of good in a way, though, because it really preserved the logs.
This side still had the roof on and had plaster, and the side over there, the roof was gone, and that whole side was open to the elements. And the reason why I built a fireplace right there is because this side had no roof. It was all wide open. The chinking was all gone, and then there was a window here, and it was just rotten all the way to the ground. And I didn't want to put a door there, and I needed something to tie these logs together. So I built a chimney chase on the outside, and then put this insert in.
That just adds to it.
Yeah, it's not quite finished. You know, I still got to do all my stonework, but.
Well, Mr. Chris, we appreciate you showing us around.
Glad you could
really
make it.
enjoyed it.
And,
We're going to take a little look around the outside
Yeah,
of it
do
right here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. How awesome is that? That he moved this entire log cabin from another location. I just love stories like that and the passion that it takes to pull something like that off. So, just a short, sweet little video today. I just wanted to kind of introduce you to Chris, check out his shop, and y'all go check out his YouTube channel, Fresh Old School, and check out the website, Deluxe Amplification. Till next time, y'all get out there and build something.